Ladies and gentlemen, we join Monday Night Raw already in progress with Dolph Ziggler in the ring. Dolph is out here to say that he is sick and tired of being mistreated and he's not going to be taking this anymore, lying down. It's time for a new era of Dolph Ziggler. And I know we've been down this road before, but it seems like this time things are going to be a little bit different. Dolph Ziggler has a... Whoa! Ladies and gentlemen, what a way to kick off Raw. Dolph Ziggler is not impressed with the interruption by tonight's guest host, HBK, the legendary Shawn Michaels. It has been advertised all week that tonight we would have a special guest host on Monday Night Raw. And here we are, the legendary Heartbreak Kid himself. Dolph Ziggler was not scheduled to open the show tonight. He kind of came out and just took control. And like I said, he wanted to address this crowd. He wanted to be the first one on camera tonight. Out here basically to prove a point, saying there's a new era. He's sick and tired of the losses. He's sick and tired of being on the undercard. He's sick and tired of everything that he's been through in the WWE. And he's here to make a change. He's not going anywhere, but he wants to climb the ladder and he wants to be back on top. But HBK has the spotlight right now. What a way to kick off Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what HBK has to say. Dolph Ziggler saying, you're not going to come out here and steal the spotlight. This is my time to address these people and let them know. HBK just told Ziggler to shut his mouth for once in his life. Shawn Michaels is out here to set the record straight with Dolph Ziggler. He says he's sick and tired of this poor man's HBK that Dolph Ziggler's become. He's nothing but a shell of his former self, and he's definitely no HBK. Going out there losing match after match, he's going to have to prove himself. If he wants to be HBK Jr., he's going to need to start winning. And tonight, Shawn Michaels has set up a match where Dolph Ziggler's going to have to prove himself against John Cena. Tonight's match. The Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels has set this match up, basically stating that he's tired of Dolph Ziggler dragging the HBK image through the mud. HBK has adopted the Shawn Michaels Jr. gimmick, basically, for lack of a better term, over recent months, and using the sweet chin music, and he's got the tights and the look, but he has not found anywhere near the success that Heartbreak Kid has found in his WWE career. And Michaels is sick and tired of it. He said he wants Dolph Ziggler to either quit using his image and quit ripping him off, or start winning. If he wants to be HBK, he's going to have to win these matches, beat these big-timers, and make it into WrestleMania, headline the WrestleManias. And it's not that Shawn Michaels has a problem with Dolph Ziggler using his image. It's just that Shawn Michaels seems to have a problem with Dolph Ziggler losing all the time. So tonight he's going to give him an opportunity to prove his worth against the man, Big Match John. Now this is also going to be an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. John Cena takes on Dolph Ziggler tonight. The winner of this match will advance to the Elimination Chamber. Oh man, big time toss out by Dolph there. But as I was saying, this year's Elimination Chamber will be held for the Intercontinental Championship. We will have 6 men in the ring, including the current Intercontinental Champion Aleister Black, and 5 other men will be vying for that Intercontinental Championship. And this match is the first qualifying match for that Elimination Chamber. And Dolph Ziggler's got a tall task ahead of him here in order to make it into that match, in order to be the headliner of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. He's going to have to beat one of WWE's best right here. The face of the company for the last 15 years. And he's not faring too well right now. Big leg trip there. Like I said, Dolph Ziggler, you've noticed in the last few months, he's really just kind of been floundering around. He was over on SmackDown there for a long time and really just found zero success over there. So the general manager at that time, Batista, made the signing to bring Dolph Ziggler over here to Raw. And he's been, again, he's been the typical Dolph Ziggler. He can handle himself in the ring, but he just cannot capitalize. He cannot pick up the W's, and you got to wonder what kind of future, if any, that Dolph has. Man, he just got tossed over the top rope there, clotheslined by Cena. And this is reminiscent of Dolph Ziggler's career the last few years. He's just on the outside, just knocked out of the ring there, knocked out of the spotlight, not able to really do much here. And again, people were actually starting to talk about maybe Dolph retiring or leaving WWE, and as of right now, he says he has no plans to do that, but he also doesn't want to stick around and be the lovable loser. He doesn't want to be the Chicago Cubs anymore. Well, that's not entirely true. He doesn't want to be the Chicago Cubs pre-2017. He wants to be the Chicago Cubs now. The lovable loser becomes the hated champion, you know? So we'll see. He's got to get his act together here against Cena, really, because, I mean, he loses this match tonight. Who knows what's going to happen? He's already busted open, it looks like. Cena's taking it to the house here. And we do know the long history between these two. It seems that anytime these two are in the ring, Cena's the one that comes out victorious no matter what the situation. Nice reverse shoulder breaker type move there. See, Dolph Ziggler, he can surprise you. He's great in the ring, as you can see right there. He's got skill. He's got a little bit of show off to him, as we all know, obviously. But I don't know. I think he's starting to show a lot of frustration now. Like I said, he found no success on SmackDown and comes over here to Raw, and he's not really finding a whole lot of success here either. All the opportunities he gets, it's not that he doesn't get the opportunities. You know, he's been competing for that Intercontinental Championship. He just had a match against Aleister Black a few weeks ago and lost that. I mean, it's not that the opportunities aren't given to Dolph Ziggler. It's just that he's the exact opposite of John Cena. When he gets in the big match, he can't put the other guys away. He can't get the victory. He can't rise above that mid-card level. He's looking to make a change in his career here, but Snake Eyes on the corner. I don't know if tonight's going to be the night he does it or not. And again, I can't really say, going in there against John Cena is obviously not going to be an easy win. It's probably not going to be a win at all. I mean, let's be honest, but that's the whole point. If Dolph Ziggler wants to be Shawn Michaels, if he wants to be successful, going for that famous or off the top, and he's caught into a power bomb. If Dolph Ziggler wants any type of comparison to the greats, he's going to have to start beating the greats, you know? You got to start. Right here's a great chance. Beat John Cena. That's elevates you big time. 5-knuckle shuffle there. Dolph is in a lot of trouble. Dolph Ziggler looks like he's going to be set up for an AA here. He's got to find a way out of this. And he doesn't. He's not able to counter. And Cena, 1, 2, and 3, that's it. John Cena picks up the victory over Dolph Ziggler, and John Cena will now be entered into the Elimination Chamber to fight for that Intercontinental Championship, a title which he's never held. That brings an interesting aspect to that match, doesn't it? So we know Aleister Black and we know John Cena will be in the Elimination Chamber this year. But man, John Cena gets a chance finally to win that Intercontinental Championship. That brings an interesting aspect to that match, that's for sure. But on the flip side of that coin, there's Dolph Ziggler again. Just cannot get his act together, and HBK really just came out here and told him if he's not going to be winning, he's got to change his gimmick. He's got to get rid of that HBK Jr. type gimmick he's got going. And we'll see where that leads. But tonight, John Cena opens us up with a big win. And again, he'll be in that Elimination Chamber fighting for the Intercontinental Championship. It's about the one title here in WWE he's never held, so we'll have to see how that goes. But ladies and gentlemen, with a hell of an opening, we're going to have to take a break. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome the arrival of Team Rude and the new Raw Women's Champion. If you missed it last night, go back, do yourself a favor, get on the WWE Network, go like the channel, subscribe to the channel, go back and watch last night's Royal Rumble. Alexa Bliss and Asuka in a much more physical match than I anticipated. And again, I mean, Alexa Bliss walking out here with the Raw Championship. Again, I really didn't honestly see that coming. The match was made into a TLC match at the advice of Liv Morgan. She had a meeting with Chris Jericho and suggested to make the match a TLC match. I guess in the vein that they're in Philadelphia and the Extreme Rules way of life living on there. But it didn't seem to be a bad idea. They did have quite the physical confrontation, but Asuka was had the back of her head slammed on the concrete on the outside, and that allowed Bliss to capitalize and run up the ladder and quickly grab that title. And again, even though Asuka did not submit or she was not pinned, she also does not go home with the Raw Women's Championship either. And due to her recent injuries and all the setbacks she's had against Team Rude in the last few weeks, and just all the beatings she suffered, the general manager has granted her a few weeks off. So hopefully we'll be seeing Asuka back here soon, but best wishes to her, and she needs to rest up and get healthy so she can come back here and challenge Bliss for that title. But right now this place is going crazy for AJ Lee. Recently we have seen the return of AJ Lee at helping out her partner there, Ruby Riott, against the Bellas, and last night she was a participant in that Royal Rumble. She was able to last until the end pretty much, and the entire Raw roster was rooting for her, but she was not able to overcome Rose Wyatt, who was able to pick up the victory in that Rumble. But you got to believe AJ Lee's not done yet. She's got her sights set on that Raw Women's Championship. Here we take a look at Dolph Ziggler. Renee's trying to get a word in with Dolph there, but he's clearly upset with what just happened. Losing that big match to John Cena, failing to qualify for the Elimination Chamber Intercontinental title match. Man, hard times for Dolph Ziggler. You got to give him credit. He's coming out here. He's trying to make a statement, and it just changes ways here in WWE. But no matter what, he still just can't seem to pick up the victories, and we'll have to see if that lights a fire under him or not. A lot of people are calling for him to step down from WWE because he's not showing us too much. Nice move there by Nia. AJ Lee, again, she recently returned at the aid of Ruby Riott against the Bellas, and looks like Ruby Riott was able to squash that little rivalry she had with Nikki Bella with the help of AJ Lee. But now they kind of got another roadblock in the way here in Team Rude. You got to think Team Rude's going in here with a lot of momentum. Again, all the damage they've done to Asuka over the weeks, and Alexa Bliss was able to pick up that win last night at the Rumble and become the new Raw Women's Champion. Very, very impressive display here by Team Rude in the last few weeks. They're clicking on all cylinders. Oh! Liv Morgan just missed a big splash there. Ruby Riott's able to follow it up into an arm twist. Oh, shoulder breaker. Man, that's a dangerous move. That is a dangerous woman, Ruby Riott. Tagging in yet another dangerous woman in AJ Lee. AJ Lee's not the biggest dog in the fight, and she really never will be, but that doesn't mean she can't scrap with the best of them. AJ Lee, a former women's champion in her own right. I'm sure she'll be a future Hall of Famer. Hell of a roundhouse kick there. Just mocking Liv Morgan. And AJ Lee has returned to the ring. She looks like she hasn't missed a beat. Big, another big roundhouse kick. Spinning heel kick, rather. Liv Morgan is out. AJ with those educated feet. Wonder where she learned that. Anyway, she's got the step over toe hold on Liv Morgan here, and Liv's in a little bit of trouble, I gotta say. There's a distraction, though, from Alexa. AJ Lee's got her sights set on Bliss, and you got to wonder, Morgan hops up there, but AJ counters. You got to wonder if AJ's going to work her way up to a one-on-one match for that championship. Right now, she's got able to counter with a hip toss. I don't know if AJ's ever been in the ring with somebody the size of Nia Jax before, but she was able to counter that with an arm drag, and looks like she's going for the... No, she's not going for a tag. AJ wants to... she wants to take it to Nia right here with a big shining wizard, and that might do it. AJ Lee, 1, 2. Oh, Nia's able to kick out. AJ hit her with a huge shining wizard there, and again, size doesn't matter when you're getting hit in the face with a knee like that. AJ got her sights set on Liv Morgan, drags her through the ropes for a neck breaker. Oh! Liv's got to roll out. That did some damage. Nia's in trouble. Nia Jax is in trouble with the hands of AJ Lee. And you got to wonder what would happen here with a victory for AJ and Ruby. Again, Ruby's been on quite a roll since coming in here to Raw. And AJ Lee with another shining wizard. These two could be a formidable team. 1, 2, 3. That's it. AJ Lee and Ruby Riott pick up the victory. They just squashed all that momentum that Team Rude had coming into this match. I'm sure Bliss is not going to be happy about that, but right now she's probably not in a good condition to do anything about it. She went through a hell of a match last night. Went through a few tables, fell off the ladder. Team Rude is showing the effects. They're worn out. Hell of a return here to Raw. AJ Lee and Ruby Riott pick up a big victory. You got to think that's going to skyrocket both of them in the rankings. We'll see where this friendship goes. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to come back. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't change the channel. We'll be right back. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We return with the entrance of the Raw General Manager, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is out here tonight at the calling of his buddies, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They sent out a tweet basically requesting to meet him in the ring tonight. And Chris Jericho did send out a tweet last night at the Royal Rumble stating basically regarding the status of Enzo Amore. Chris Jericho did state that although he did heed the advice of Enzo Amore and give the family the title shot tonight, he's not a general manager who is that type of person who can be bribed. So apparently there was some money involved in that transaction, and Chris Jericho took that as kind of an insult, and he has indeed fired Enzo Amore. But tonight, like I said, that's not really the focus. We're going to go ahead and move on from that, and like I said, we'll see what the Canuck Connection has in mind here for their general manager. I'm sure both of these men last night participated in the Royal Rumble, and neither one of them was able to come out victorious, as Kevin Owens basically only lasted about 5 seconds in there. He was eliminated immediately. I'm sure he wasn't happy about that. Big Lars Sullivan took him out. I'm sure he's looking for retribution tonight. Sami Zayn basically just telling Chris Jericho that they deserve to be in the WrestleMania main event. Even though they didn't win the Royal Rumble, they got screwed out of their spot. But they're not going to let that disdain the festivities tonight. They want to continue the tribute to Jericho with a match from 1999, Chris Jericho against The Rock. Another throwback here, courtesy of the Canuck Connection. And I gotta say, these two, they do a lot of whining and crying, like I said, about missing out on the WrestleMania main event, but they didn't win the Rumble. Like I said, Sami Zayn was in there for a while, but he got eliminated by his recent nemesis Kofi Kingston. He's been having a lot of problems with the New Day lately, and I'm sure that's just going to add to it. Kevin Owens came down in the ring and basically He was in there for 3 or 4 seconds, and then Lars Sullivan picked him up and just tossed him over the top. Quite an impressive display by Lars Sullivan last night, as he was able to eliminate some of the big dogs in the Rumble, including the big dog himself, Roman Reigns. Very, very impressive showing by Lars Sullivan. But tonight, again, Owens and Zayn, they wanted to bring out this old piece of footage from '99. Back in the Attitude Era, The Rock, the People's Champion, taking on Chris Jericho. Y2J. This was shortly after Chris Jericho's WWF debut. The Rock with a big dragon screw leg whip there. Remember when Chris Jericho came into the WWF, everybody was kind of wondering where he would fall. If he was going to stay in that mid-card, or if they were actually going to give him the opportunities to rise up and at least compete for the World Championships. And obviously we all know how that turned out, and justifiably so. Chris Jericho, the first ever undisputed champion, the only man to ever defeat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. No one has ever been able to lay claim to that, other than the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla himself, lead singer of Fozzy these days. But Chris Jericho's always been a competitor. He's always been worthy in the ring, that's for sure. Even in WCW, when they kind of had him in the cruiserweight division, and they featured him early on in the card, earlier on in the nights, and didn't really thrust him into the world title spot. But everybody knew he was the next big thing. Everybody knew that he was fully capable of hanging with the likes of The Rock and Stone Cold and Triple H and all those guys. He came over here to WWF and got himself into scenarios like this one. Man, Rock bounces his head off the announce table there, but follows up with a clothesline and misses. Jericho's able to hit the enziguri. He may get a count-out victory here. I'm sure he'd be satisfied with that. The Rock's at a 9. That's going to be it. The Rock was barely able to make it back in the ring. Knocks the ref out, knocks Chris Jericho out. Wow, I can't believe The Rock just got back in the ring there at that 9 7/8 count. Follows it up with a clothesline in a corner to Jericho. Rock throws him off the ropes. I'm sure he's looking for that big spine buster, but he was now... Oh, there it is. Wasn't able to hit it initially, but he got it. Dragging Chris to the middle of the ring now. And we're going to see the People's Elbow. What a classic move this is from The Rock. Takes the elbow pad off, shoulder or rope to rope, boom. People's Elbow. That might be it. That's put away a lot of the greats. 1, 2. Jericho's able to kick out. That move has put away a lot of the greats. Again, you're talking about Stone Cold, The Undertaker, Mankind, Triple H, even the likes of Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho. Beautiful Northern Lights suplex there. And again, this is just another special little treat that Owens and Zayn, they want to come out and just pay tribute to their friend, the general manager of Raw, Chris Jericho, and just show some of his old highlights in what are their opinion, some of his best matches, that personal favorites of theirs, I guess. And I gotta say, again, Owens and Zayn, they can get on your nerves in a hurry, but this little feature that they're doing, I quite enjoy it. I like, going back to the good old days once in a while, and I'm sure Chris Jericho's been enjoying seeing these clips of his heyday. Rock with a big clothesline. Nice reversal there.
He's still not moving, guys.
You got to wonder, like I said, you got to wonder what's next for Owens and Zayn. Again, they were both entered into that Royal Rumble. They both qualified. They won their way in there, and just when they got there, they weren't able to capitalize and win the whole thing. But I know both of them. Big back suplex off the top rope from The Rock. I know both of them wanted to go to WrestleMania and headline and fight for that Universal Championship. Owens wants that thing back, believe me. He held that title proudly until John Cena cashed in his Money in the Bank on his return and took it away from Owens. He hasn't really been the same since then. He hasn't been the dominant superstar that we know. Rock follows it up. Oh, but Jericho with a nice reversal. STO out of the corner. He goes for the cover. Rock kicks out. Kicks out at a 1. Jericho goes back to work on the neck there. I don't remember this match. Again, it's hard to remember all the matches that were, you know, all the great matches we saw on Raw and SmackDown through the years, and I don't remember Jericho and The Rock facing each other on Monday Night Raw, but oh man, this might have been at a time where maybe I had it on WCW. I'm not sure. Maybe Hollywood Hogan was running wild over there. Big lion salt. That's gonna be it. Lion salt on The Rock. We know Jericho put a lot of people away with that move. Not going for the cover, though. That's interesting. He didn't go for the cover after that lion salt. And another spine buster by The Rock. And I think once Jericho came into the WWE, he really developed more of a repertoire. He kind of modified. Oh my! The Rock bottom! The Rock bottom on Chris Jericho. They're not going to show a match that Jericho loses, are they? 1, 2, and that. Oh, he kicked out. I was going to say, you got to wonder if that would go over too well with the GM. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn busting out some old footage that Chris Jericho loses. I can't imagine that'd be smart for their careers, but I was saying when Chris Jericho made the jump to WWE, he seemed to really develop a lot of his moveset, and he had a number of different ways to put guys away. Again, he had that lion salt, the lion tamer, of course, and the modified lion tamer into the Boston Crab, the Walls of Jericho. And then later on in his years, he developed the Code Breaker, and this guy has an arsenal of moves that can put you away in a hurry. Rock with a beautiful counter there. Chris Jericho's looking to knock him off the apron. Follows it up with a big clothesline. Rock runs about 6'5", 275. He runs you over with a clothesline. That's literally like getting hit with a friggin' bulldozer. Jericho reverses the Irish Whip. Sends the Rock out to the apron again, and this time he gets him out of there. Rock is knocked back down to the outside. And I do believe this is not for any type of championship. I don't think. I think either Steve Austin or Triple H was the champion at this time. Jericho sending to those announce tables. Man. Rock doing what he does. I mean, we know how much charisma this guy has. Biggest star in Hollywood right now. Nobody really saw that coming back then, but we always knew The Rock had charisma. You want to talk about charisma, though, look at the other side of the ring. Chris Jericho, one of the most popular superstars of all time, picks The Rock up, slams him into the turnbuckle, and a power slam to The Rock. Again, you're talking about a guy 6'5", 275. Jericho's over here throwing him around like he's a cruiserweight. A very testament to who Chris Jericho is as a superstar. He can go in there and have a 5-star match with Big Show, Andre the Giant, The Rock, Stone Cold, even smaller guys like Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. Chris Jericho can do it all, and I believe that's the message that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are conveying here. They want to pay tribute. They both grew up idolizing Chris Jericho, of course, being Canadians. But it's more than just about nationality. I mean, again, if you want to idolize a great wrestler, Chris Jericho is a really qualified candidate, that's for sure. Picks him up into a nice double arm backbreaker. That was beautiful. One of Chris Jericho's signature moves, but The Rock's still able to kick out. Again, The Rock back in 99, 2000, he was about the toughest competitor put away there was. You know, he was. Oh, here we go. This might do it. The Walls of Jericho. He's looking for the walls, but The Rock's right there by the ropes. The Walls of Jericho. The Rock's got to reach. He's not. The Rock. No, The Rock couldn't reach out. He's tapping out. Chris Jericho just made The Rock tap out on Monday Night Raw. And I can see why they chose this clip. Again, we saw Chris Jericho against Ultimo Dragon from WCW last week, and now this week they pull out a classic from Monday Night Raw 1999. And there were a few times here I thought The Rock was going to win. And like I said, I can't imagine that would go over too well with the general manager, but hell of a match there. Gotta miss the glory days, but we'll get back to reality here. Chris Jericho appreciates the offer here. He appreciates the tribute, but he's got something in mind tonight for Kevin Owens. Now, Chris Jericho is stating that he's not in the mood for any monkey business or complaining tonight, but he is offering a solution to Kevin Owens, stating that tonight, actually up next, right now, Kevin Owens has a chance to enter the Elimination Chamber as he will take on AJ Styles in a qualifying match, and that match happens next. Big blockbuster announcement there from General Manager, basically giving Kevin Owens an opportunity to prove himself here and qualify for the Elimination Chamber, the Intercontinental title match against AJ Styles here tonight. And here we go, as we welcome the Phenomenal One to the arena. AJ Styles is in the house. He will be taking on Kevin Owens right now in an impromptu match, Elimination Chamber qualifying match for the Intercontinental Championship. The winner of this match will be entered in with John Cena and Aleister Black, as we know. As we know, earlier tonight, John Cena was able to pick up the victory over Dolph Ziggler and get himself entered in for a shot at the Intercontinental title. AJ Styles is looking to do the same here against Kevin Owens, and you gotta wonder, I mean, on the one hand, Owens can't really be happy about this, as there really hasn't been anybody hotter in the WWE over the last few weeks than AJ Styles. He and Randy Orton have just torn down the house the last few weeks. But last night at the Rumble, on the pre-show, the kickoff, I use that phrase ironically, but Randy Orton pulled an audience member out of the crowd last night and proceeded to punt kick the member. Unfortunately, we did find out that not only was that assault on a WWE audience member, but it was assault on a minor, as that child was 14-year-old Jake Smith. He was the head of the Pennsylvania AJ Styles fan club. AJ comes out firing here. Looks like he's going for Zayn, but he missed. Zayn stepped out of the way. AJ's fired up. It didn't even hurt him. He's able to run and hip toss Zayn. But AJ he opted to not participate in the Rumble last night, rather to spend the night in the hospital with the boy and his family, and you do have to admire that from AJ Styles. But he did miss out on an opportunity to win the Royal Rumble and headline WrestleMania, so tonight he's entered into the qualifying match for the Intercontinental Championship. And again, I don't know how happy Kevin Owens can be about this, but AJ Styles looked like he's taken out a little bit of frustration from last night. Randy Orton is not in the building. As we know, he's been suspended indefinitely for those actions. I'm surprised he wasn't fired and arrested too, but AJ is obviously showing some frustration here about that last night. He's coming out here. He's taking the fight to both of these guys. AJ looks like there's a little bit of fire behind him tonight. He just grabbed a chair. This is not a no disqualification match. And oh my God! Oh my God! What is he doing? AJ Styles just clocked Kevin Owens and the referee and Sami Zayn. AJ Styles has gone crazy. This is why we need security on Raw, folks. After all the stuff that he's been through in the last few weeks, I can't really blame him, and what Randy Orton did to that child last night, again, I cannot blame AJ Styles for just going off the deep end here and losing his mind, but this is not the right way, AJ. This is not. What are we seeing from AJ Styles here tonight? Nothing but frustration. And you can see it on his face, too. He's disappointed. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to join us for part 2. We'll be right back.